Now, the final step of creating your assessment would be then actually once the assessment has been administered and finished, now we actually have to look at the results. So I'm actually going to bring up an old test that I made. We'll see the results here. But basically, what you'll notice once you first open it up is, again, we have the three tabs on the bottom, scores, which kind of basically show the results, the key, which are the answer key that you filled out in the previous step, and then raw data. Raw data, that's kind of the original sheet that all the form information comes in. Just basically disregard this. You will not need to go into that tab at all. Really, you'll just need the key to actually enter in the answer key. And then the score is more just for basically viewing the results and then transferring that information into Campus for grade. A couple things about the score sheet. It's all organized by hour, so the first hour students will be first, and also by last name. Now, this one, it got crossed up a little bit. We had basically some first names and for last names, so you might want to double check that just to make sure that those are accurate, but sometimes that happens. Students forget that their last name is their first, and etc. So you'll notice for each student's basically submission, sometimes if they double click the submit button, they might have two results. So they're identical results, so you can just take one of them and forget the other one. But basically, if you're curious and you want to just kind of cross-reference to see if there were any mistakes, you can kind of still see all the answers. And again, each row is a student response. Each column is a question, so you can kind of double check to make sure nothing was messed up. And then the score itself, you can go ahead. I usually open up another Excel and just kind of basically copy and paste all of the students in, just because a lot of the answers, if they get longer, you'll see more spaces kind of in between. That's why we had a written response on this test, so that's why we had kind of big row cells. And then the other thing we can do that's kind of nice is if you go up to form, click on form, you can click on show summary of responses. And now what this does is kind of tabulates a graph on how your whole class did. So you can basically see, like, identify the point of view from the passage below. You can basically get the responses, and you can notice that this one we had about 51% get it right, and about 33% pick the wrong third person point of view, and then another 14% that were a little bit off. So it's kind of a nice quick way to see, all right, are there any questions that, maybe something to look at. Number 7, identify the point of view from the passage. Again, looks like we're a little bit confused with limited versus omniscient third person point of view. So it's kind of nice instant results that you can kind of just sift through and kind of figure out, this is a question that's really our students are struggling with, or if they're 95% or 100% getting it right, then you know that they're basically right on and kind of passed that portion of your test. So it's a nice way to kind of get instant results as well as getting those scores from the assessment.